guys in her eyes. There you go. We want the horse to choose to be with us, right? Real simple, real basic. Now this is the fun part because we're going to saddle her up and we're going to do it without having her tied up. We're going to desensitize her a little bit. Good girl. Now she's probably going to step off and I'm going to end up having to pull my saddle and send her again. And then we'll do it again. And then we're going to repeat until we get the proper response. But then again, maybe she's learned. I doubt it. Everything I've done with this horse has been twice as hard. But it doesn't matter because we need to build that foundation and we don't quit until they get it. Right? Good girl. So all your horses should be able to come and stand still and quiet for you without being held or tied. In my opinion, that's kindergarten. My saddle's a mess. Sorry I didn't clean it up. Girl. This is so big for this horse. Just what you're seeing here. Was so hard for her. Her trust level was 0. The people had chased her around and tried to rope her on drunken nights, I guess, when she was young. And they thought it was fun. And then when they had to move, they wondered why they couldn't catch her. So I'm going to talk about that as I start to ask other questions and how the horses tell us their stories. And a lot of horses have troubles with one thing more than another, just like some of us are good at math and some are good at English, right? So this is really good. She's actually surpassing what I thought. Usually when I cinch it, she wants to step forward. So this is really good. Really, really good. Kindergarten 101. And she's fat. My God. Now it's a bucking strap. Man. One of the sayings I like, there's 2 sayings I like. John Lyons did a quote, and it was on Facebook the other day. And he said, there's only 2 things that belong in a saddle. 1 is a sense of humor, and 2 is patience. And I so believe John's theory so much. I build my foundation around him. Not every single tool, but his theories. His golden rules are, I don't get hurt, the horse don't get hurt, and the horse is calmer at the end of the lesson than they were in the beginning. If you live by those golden rules, any tools you use are okay to use. Okay? Now, some of the tools you might pick up here with me, I hope you can take them home and use them. Add them into your tool belt. That's what I did over the years. I just took tools that I've seen in Texas, Arizona, Louisiana, Ohio. I've been all over just kind of learning as I go, and I'm always learning. So this is really nice for her, so I'm going to go ahead and horse is calmer at the end of the lesson than they were in the beginning. If you live by those golden rules, any tools you use are okay to use. Okay? Now, some of the tools you might pick up here with me, I hope you can take them home and use them. Add them into your tool belt. That's what I did over the years. I just took tools that I've seen in Texas, Arizona, Louisiana, Ohio. I've been all over just kind of learning as I go, and I'm always learning. So this is really nice for her, so I'm going to go ahead and move her. 1 cluck. Very good. Daisy out. She got stepped on once by this horse already, and she got run over by a truck a couple weeks ago. How she's still alive, I do not know. So this is what we're looking for. Submissive, head low, walking down the trail. I think Chris saw it. A couple months ago I rode this horse, and it was plumb scary.
Yep.
She was snorting, and she was like sitting on a piece of dynamite. And I didn't have my round pen, so I did a lot more lunging for respect things in the open. But I told Linda, I said, the great thing that's going to happen is that you can send her to me, and let's wean her from her home. Let's get her into a new situation of daily lessons Let's get her where she has to learn how to accept other horses. She was horrible about other horses. We took her to a team penny a couple months ago, and she tried to kick everybody in the face and scared me to death. I'm like, oh my God, I thought she'd relax. I told her the light would come on, and it did. Right when I got her here, a couple weeks into her being here, the light turned on, and she goes down the road. Look at her looking for me. She's wanting to stop now. That's okay, because I want to keep going. This is a little work ethic, right? Just because she wants to quit doesn't mean I'm going to quit. I'm going to make it my idea. And I'm just going to pull my body out. She's looking very nice. So do we have any questions about this part of it? What do we want our horse to do right off the bat?
Stand still.
Stand still. When we stop to talk to our friends, we want our horse to do what? Stand still. When the plastic bag blows out in front of us, what do we want our horse to do? Stand still. Very good. So now we're going to talk about how we make that happen when life isn't all sweet and pretty like it is now. Okay? So, I'm going to bring this up to her. Everybody knows that I am a tarp animal. I love this thing. I am not going to use a big stick with a baggie. I want to bring it like that, you know what I mean? And what's really awesome about this is I can make it small. And I do. When I start taking on horses, when she started out, this is how I had to do it. And I just had to touch her on the shoulder. This is how we're going to start. You're going to start with 3 points. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, praise. Now, just because of that, some horses will be like, just with it like that. So we're going to find out where the horse's limitations are and start there. Okay? So then we're going to go to a point. Let's see if she'll come. She's a little concerned about you guys over there. Good girl. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start at a little more aggressive. We're going to go like this and we're going to move our feet. This is actually the next step. Moving our feet is pretty difficult on horses. Okay? If you get these horses broke really good to this, they won't buy into other horses acting like a fool quite as bad. Daisy does her job quite well at being a 3-ring circus, and she's usually right around my feet when I'm lunging them and stuff, but I'm making her stay out there. So this is what we want to do. So this is all real low-end basic stuff, right? So what we want to do, and I'm going to talk more about that with Southern, because I have 3 horses. I went out and saw Southern, and I tarped him at this level, and I was quite impressed. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. And then I went like this, and he went into orbit. And he bucked and like a wild rodeo bronc, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to ride that horse ever. But now he's going down the road, peaceful and calm, except for a few glitches, but we'll talk about that. All right, so here's pretty old, crazy nervous little girl, Star, who I couldn't even set it on her butt like that, and she'd take off running. So this is, anybody can do this, but what you have to do is read your horse. Find out where you're starting at and build on it. You'll be amazed at what 5 straight days of this will do for you. Okay, so now, she hasn't seen this. You got to learn to push these buttons before we get on their back and have to deal with it, huh? This is her doing it, right? Now let's see if I can get a whoa on her. Whoa! There we go. I was almost impressed. Good girl. So that's a little nervous, a little hard on her. Just walk off with us, right? So this is very, very good. And this is how I'd like to end this lesson today with her. It's just her walking off with me. Now, good girl. Trail horses. Riding horses that spook. You'll see the buck and rolls on my saddle. beautiful $25 items to add to your Western saddle. I can hold on with my legs so much better. We want the normal everyday stuff to be, oh my God, that's so simple. Thank you, Daisy. So, the butt to go faster, that's harder than starting a colt. And he's really showing me that my principles and the tools that I'm using do work. So now I'm just going to do what? I'm going to triple cluck. I didn't even have to use my body, did I? So we've learned to drive him with just our voice. Because the voice is the ask, the body is the tell, and maybe a little smack on the butt with a whip is the make, right? But I don't even need that anymore. So we're just going to move him around, relax. His stop word doesn't work as well as Stars does yet. We'll see though. He likes to come right into me. I don't discourage that necessarily on him at this point. Oh, see, his whoa kind of not as good, is it? So we're going to go ahead and move that. Once active full, we're going to put that body on him a little bit more, stick our chest out. He kind of moves like he's a little sore. I don't like how he looks right now. But that's just him. He'll walk all day down the trail though. He's a great winter horse. In the summer you can do an hour ride on him, that's about it. He has to have a lot of afternoon baths. So what are we going to do here? We have to make the world